So, hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Walter of verbalherb.com. And it is Wealth Wednesdays with Walter. But more importantly, I don't know about more importantly, it is the Demetra K Show, where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are a great people, but there is always room for improvement. And so, guys, as you guys know, on Wealth Wednesdays, we do have a very spirited but informational, educational conversation with Walter. And we answer the questions from our audience, because you all are not just viewers, you are participants as well. And so, hey, Sunlight, how you doing? So, as you guys know, we've been having Walter on here on Wednesdays, and we've been going over ways to make money, save money, different strategies to start businesses and things like that. But, we just kind of felt like maybe we needed to kind of scale it back a little bit. And so, hi, Bogani, how you doing? You guys have heard me reference the book by Carter G. Woodson, Miseducation of the Negro, that was written in 1933. So we're actually going to just start from chapter 1 and work our way up, and just, obviously intertwine it with modern day things. But we want to reference the book because, for one, it is a masterpiece. If you have read it, good for you. If you haven't, you should read it. But so I'll go ahead and give it to you, Walter, before I get into it. What's the 411? How you doing?
I need to unmute myself first. Maybe I ought to do that more when I get into a heated argument. Mute myself. No, it's good. Today, I'm trying to scale it back a little bit. As usual, we got a few financial tips, but I want to kind of go over the topic you picked, the miseducation of the Negro, which seems like it's ongoing, especially today. There's a lot going on. Every day I wake up and watch the news, I go, man, we're taking the bait. So what I'd like to do is, go and talk about the narrative of how we could change our thought process, and then throw some money tips in there. So if you guys have questions, you can throw them in the comment section, like some real money questions. We'd have to deal with money subjects, or something that relates to money. We can keep it there. I believe in God and all that stuff, and I'm gonna give it to God. But for right now, we're gonna talk about the money, if that's okay.
All right, now, so Thoughts of the Week podcast, how you doing? All right, so let me go ahead and get into it so we can really get going here. Okay, so for those of you guys who do not know who Carter G. Woodson is, or was, ancestor, he is what people consider the father of Black History Month. It used to be a day, then it was a week, and he was like, you know what, we need a month. So it was him that lobbied for February and all of that too. Pay homage to African Americans in history, right? And so we still do that to this day. But he is a writer, or I should say was. I talk about him like he's still here. He still is. Let's just put it that way. So a writer, historian, and educator, and he is the second African American to get his doctorate degree from that of Harvard. Now, his book, The Miseducation of the Negro, focuses on African American and self-improvement, right? Because his ideology was that we as Black people, and we all know this, have been taught to hate ourselves because we were taught that we are inferior. And unfortunately, a lot of us still believe that we are inferior just by some of the things that we do and we say, right? So in chapter 1 of this book, he talks about the educational system, in that when Black people go off to college, and I'm not talking about HBCUs, I'm just talking about white colleges. And what he was talking about, he says, we go to these white institutions and we learn how to be white, okay? White in quotations. So we learn about white businesses and white ideologies and things like that. And somehow a brainwashing takes place while we're in these white institutions. And so when we get time, it comes time for us to graduate, we're at a crossroads, right? We're like, okay, got my degree. Now, do I go try to work for white people? Now, remember, this book was written in 1933, right? So some of this stuff really still applies. So I'm a Black graduate from one of these white institutions. Now, do I go try to get a job at a white institution? More than likely, they're going to hire one of their own, right? Even to this day. So they don't hire me. Now I have to go back to my community. But remember, in this white institution, I've been brainwashed to think oh, well, I'm better than them, right? I went off and I got this highfalutin education and they can't relate to me and I can't relate to them. And so there's this tension and this animosity when that educated, miseducated person goes back to their community. Okay, so he also talks about the Bible, right? The Bible was taught to us, Black people, from that of white supremacy. And so, even though we were taught to be Christians here in America, we were still taught that we were inferior. You talk about the slave plantation on Sundays, you think they were saying, you know, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and treat others as you would have them treat you. No, they were talking about just take it now, obey your master. When you go to heaven, you'll be washed white as snow and all that other stuff. So we were miseducated as far as the Bible is concerned, too, or religion. Let's just put it that way. And so he also said in these institutions, we were taught from a Wall Street, especially if you're talking about a business mind frame. He said we were taught from a Wall Street point of view in that we're thinking about how to make money on a white level per se or on a larger level. And when we were taught that, we forgot about being, you know, having fruit stands and laundromats and auto shops and grocery stores and the stuff that we need, right? So he also said that people, Black people who went to college back then were like, I don't want to be a washerwoman like my mama or a blacksmith like my daddy. I want to go get this big time, you know, law degree, or I want to become a psychology or whatever. And it's not that we in the Black community didn't need those things. We just needed other stuff, right? Like the basics, the grocery stores. And so that's how over time, with a whole lot of other things, but over time, the Negro has been miseducated to think that I can go off and get a white education and apply those same things to my community. Not saying that the white education is better, but we thought that we would replace what we needed in our community and try to do what white people are doing, but leaving off the fact that white people already had their stuff established. And so they could go get these degrees and all that other stuff because they had grocery stores, cleaners, and auto shops and all that other stuff. And so we even to this day in our communities don't have those things on a larger scale. Drive through your Black neighborhood and ask yourself, where is the Black grocery store? Where is even the Black mechanic nowadays? Like a Black mechanic is even hard to find. Where is a Black hospital? Anybody been to a Black cleaners lately within the last 10 years or so? So those things on a smaller level, we stopped doing. And to this day, we don't have those things. And so we want to talk about what will Carter G. Woodson do in regards to trying to start I don't want to call them simple things. They're necessities, right? Like we need those necessities still in our community. So we want to start talking about how do we get rid of that brainwashing in that we don't need those things, right? Because we need them, right? Because we go to white stores, we go to Asian stores, we go to Hispanic stores, we go to everybody else's stores but our own. So we want to start on the ground floor level. And you guys, please help us out with that too. How do we get rid of that mind frame so that we can start building these needed businesses? So I'm going to get to your comments. Walter, what say you?
You know, while you was talking, I had this epiphany, and you guys have to forgive me. I'm fasting, so I haven't eaten in almost 24 hours. So if I pass out, just keep going. Actually, I'm trying to do a 72-hour fast. One thing we could do to help as a people is we could clear our minds. One thing I've been doing is doing research on just, what foods to eat, spices and what to do. And I've been, Dr. Sebi and a lot of that stuff's on YouTube. You guys, when you clear your mind of like the meats, the cheese, the alcohols, the breads, the grains and all that stuff, man, you could do a whole lot. So anyways, I'm not going to pass out. But here's what I was thinking about. Like when you think about the Black race is supposed to be head up by the Black man, right? Regardless of what people say, this at the end of the day, it's the Black man's job to run the race. You know what will be really good is if we can get the black women, and I know a lot of you do it. The problem is we're not in the limelight, in the spotlight. So what if we got more black women saying, you know what, my man is a good man. Why don't we get somebody to write a song about my man? Like, remember that song, J.O.B., Nothing Goes On But the Rent? Remember that song?
Gotta have a J-O-B if you want to
Yeah.
be with me. Ain't nothing going on but the rent.
I remember that song. And she didn't say 8-figure nigga, 8-inch, that's good pipe. She wasn't going on with all that. She was just saying, I need a man with a J-O-B. I think we need to go back to that. There are a lot of good brothers out there who just need to hear, you know what? Thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for going out and getting it. This whole, you know what's really funny? Think about some of our most popular women in entertainment. Do you know what they do? They take care of their men. Think about this for a second. Some of the big celebrities, they talk about all this men in power, but a lot of them take care of their man. Think about that for a second. Just think about it. As you go again. How many baller women do you see out there, take Beyonce out of it, that walk up with a baller man? A lot of them are taking care of their dude. So what if we can just get the women, you black women who are the neck, to say, that's a good dude. He's taking care of business. There's a really good book you guys can read. It's called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Great book. I always talk about it on this show. It's a good book. He just talks about doing a little bit at a time. So if we just say, you know what, we got a brother, he makes money. I don't care if he's a janitor or not. Matter of fact, if your man is a janitor, he's probably making decent money. The janitors at some of these schools, ladies, here's a tip. You want to get your man with money? Get with one of these janitors at one of these schools. Some of these cats making $60,000, $70,000 as janitors. Matter of fact, a lot of the janitors make more than the newer teachers. But they don't have titleitis. They go up there, sweep, get the money, and get out. So some of these men that we've pushed to the side, like, we should start. I'm not saying you got to worship them, but these dudes are like, they're bringing the heat. As a black man, I know I even feel like crap sometimes. Like, oh, I'm not an 8-figure nigga yet, but I'm a 6-figure nigga. Like, can that be or a 5-figure? Like, what if I was a 4? So what? If I love you and I take care of you, somebody walked through the front door, I step up to him to protect our family. What does all that other stuff matter? So, and a lot of us worshiping stuff that we ain't gonna never have anyways. Like I was telling my assistant, I said, sometimes I suffer from, I don't want to use the word depression, but I feel like I'm not doing enough with my life. And I know if I feel that way, and my sister tell you I work around the clock, I feel like I'm doing okay. But when I start get on Instagram and start watching all these videos, and I feel like, oh man, I ain't doing shit. Like, how come I don't got what's his name, Tiger got?
Let me answer this question really quick. So Thoughts of the Week podcast. Y'all, please throw all your questions in there. We mean to get to them. So you say, Demetra, was there a time when you faced the miseducation of Demetra K? And how did you get out of this miseducation? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and I'll give you guys a perfect example. Can I be honest with y'all? When Obama was running for office, of course, most people, I think a lot of black people was like, yeah, we got a black president, or we have a chance to get one, right? So I was all in. Yeah, let's get Obama in there. And into his presidency, people would, say things about him. And you know what I would say when I was uneducated? Well, he's trying the best he can. What do you want him to do? You guys are just crabs in a bucket. But when I actually stopped to listen to what everybody was saying and, got out of my feelings, then all of that started to make sense. What I was hearing about Obama not really being a good, representative, if you will, for black people. So how I got out of that mindset is to just listen. Stop being on the defensive and thinking that I know everything, right? Like I'm always right, because nobody's always right. But we have to be willing to take in new information so that we can have new thought processes, right? So that's how I did it. I just listened to people. Obviously, I read a lot of books. I got, my own copy here. I read a lot of books and I listen to y'all and the different people. So we have to have an open mindset when it comes to educating ourselves, right? We never stop learning. So I think that's the best way I can sum it up. Who else is on here while Walter's kind of thinking about what it is? So Moni says, Dimitri, here in Michigan, you have always plenty of black mechanics. Some of them are pretty good, but some don't even want to extend their knowledge by getting degrees. Unfortunately, grocery stores having your equipment cut off. Yeah, I would say that as far as the black mechanics are concerned, well, not even just black mechanics, but mechanics who usually working on their own. Because a lot of these newer cars have a lot of electronic, devices and stuff going on with that. So it's getting rid of the old school mechanic, if you will, that can fix any car that doesn't have all of that. But yeah, I think education is important if you want to stay relevant, because eventually the dinosaur cars are going to die out, right? So absolutely. Kimmy, how you doing? You say, hi, hey, Demetri, hi, Walter. I'm gardening and listening. Interesting topic. Click like, y'all. Yes, please, please, please like. And Sunlight say facts. And Bogani says, my question is Black History Month actually moving us forward, or is it a hindrance that keeps most living in the past? I think your last part of the question kind of answers it. I mean, I think it's important for us to know about people in our history and the contributions that they made, because a lot of us don't know all the contributions that our people have made to this country, right? Like, how many people even know that Black people, Benjamin Banneker, built Washington? Or he designed it anyway. Of course, they have Black people building it. So there's a lot of things we should know. Now, I don't think we should get stuck in the past. Like, okay, because a lot of times we talk about Black history, but we talk about it in a way that, oh, that's it. We're never going to make any more history, right? Like those are the glory days. And now we're just kind of sitting here. No, we need to reference the past, but we also need to start building for the future and continue to make history. So that way, 50 years down the line, somebody says, hey, did you hear about that invention Walter made, or that invention Bogani made? Yeah, he made it easier for us to do this, that, and the other. So we got to continue to create history. The agitator, how you doing? Says, hello, sis, Demetri K. and Walter. C. Darden, how you doing? Says, we're always trying to fit in with white society. That's the main issue. Yes, and that's what Carter G. Woodson was saying. Basically, we've been miseducated to think like white people, opposed to applying knowledge to our own communities, right? And we still do that to this day. And Janelle, how you doing? He says, I do a juice fast for the first 8 hours after waking up. All right, now I would imagine that's pretty healthy. And Beats by Dizzy, how you doing? Y'all talking about me singing with my raspy voice, sounded like Marge Simpson.
Oh, yeah, you need the chamomile tea or whatever that is.
It's just from doing a lot of talking. Just what I do, right? And let's see here. Root Trackers by Yaira. I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says, I got my vegan pizza from BBO and my laundry. That's a Black-owned business. Is that what you mean? And my laundry detergent made by Black-owned store all on Sunday. I do need to go back to the BBO cleaners and not one up the street. Yes, indeed, says Ashante Asana. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember last time I've been to a Black cleaners, and shoot, we used to have the Black cleaners on lock, right? And Janelle says, Walter, try a daily CBD regime.
I wrote it down in the lemon balm. I got it.
All right. And Donnie says, you read it 2 times. Yes, I read it 2 times, and I'm going to read it again. Talk about the miseducation of the Negro. And C. Darden says, Asians and East Indian and Hispanics come here and create their own economies, sometimes with the help. Let me mute Walter's mic just in case he in there doing something crazy. Bam. You say Asians, East Indians, and Hispanics come here and create their own economy, sometimes with the help of governmental assistance or other means. Oh, yeah, not sometimes, a lot, right? But this other book that I read that a friend of mine by the name of he gave me called Hidden Secrets of Oriental Wealth is the name of the book. And it talked about how they manage their food source. So let's say, for instance, they get a bag of rice, right? They get a bag of rice. And let's just say this. Let's say they use food stamps to get it. So instead of like a lot of people do, going and buying a bunch of processed foods and things like that, boxes, cans, frozen stuff, they might go buy a bag of rice, and they'll have, make it sweet in the morning for cereal, make a lunch with it and a dinner. And then some people who are very savvy might get those same food stamps, and they divide it and say, okay, this is what we're going to spend on our family, and this is what we're going to spend selling plates, right? And so they figure out how to use the governmental assistance. And yes, we know Black people a lot of times are locked out of economic opportunities. It's just a fact, right? Walter, you can jump in whenever you want. The agitator says, that's true, Walter. The garbage man, too. Yeah, I mean, shoot, garbage men be making money. I'm going to tell you something about these garbage men that used to pull up here at this house. I think it was every Tuesday or something. I don't know. They changed the days. It'd be a whole bunch of brothers on the trash truck. And whatever reason, me and my daughter would just be coming from the gym or whatever. And, they get out and we talk and stuff. And we're like, y'all thirsty? Yeah, we thirsty. I said, what you drinking? And so he said, how about some beer? Y'all don't know their names. Ain't gonna get in trouble. Some beer. I said, I don't drink beer, but the next time you come around, I'm gonna have you some beer. Next time they came around, have some beer. And those brothers was like, shoot, y'all need us to take anything else out? So don't sleep on the garbage man.
Man, let me tell you something. My Uncle Sam drove a garbage truck and he had a Jaguar. I mean, he had that him and my Uncle Wallace had that those Econo, man. Listen, y'all, we just need to cut the title lighter shit out. Like, for instance, I sell cars. My son and his friend upstairs, we run a car business. I wake my ass up in the morning. I go buy 4 or 5 cars twice a week and I sell them. Now I got a crew, so I'm not doing the washing and all the mechanic stuff. But man, there was a time I would be outside washing my car. And my neighbor's like, damn, you even washed your car? And one day I had a suit on and I was washing the car. So I was like, I'm washing my car because I'm selling it. And then I got a financial planning client. So I'm washing the ride and I'm going to get the money from a financial planning client. The point I'm making is like, I had to get rid of the title. Man, I had a buddy of mine, Dan Charlier. He was like, somebody would say, oh, I made $250 last year. And they'd be like, what'd you do? He goes, does it matter? If I was shoveling horse shit and I made $250,000, does it matter? See, people lead, well, what is it you do? It don't matter what I do. I make money. Man, I tell you, I don't care. You see me lighting these candles? This is I made this candle my damn self. I don't care. And I had somebody say, oh, are you making candles now? Yeah, I'm making candles. We got the Biden bag coming out as red in case he win again. It's an emergency kit. We got the Biden, the Joe Bidet. Anyways, you get the point. Like, you want to get with these dudes that can use their hands and be crafty. Not that you don't get with the businessman, but just get all these, like the dude that cuts my grass, the brother Terrence, he cuts my grass. I mean, as far as hell, so he don't cut it as much. But he does that on the side of his other job.
He still cuts my grass.
Yeah, I live an hour away from society, so people be struggling to get out there. But the brother, he comes up, he's well-spoken. He always bring a brother with him, and it's normally a different brother because he'd be like, man, trying to get these brothers to come to work is like something else. So, I mean, at the end of the day, let me break it down like this. I'm going to break it down to Chipotle style. Did I say it right? Chipotle? I don't know how you say it. Fast food. Chipotle, out here, they are paying $21 an hour for a brother to work at Chipotle. I told somebody to go there and get a job. I said, do you realize that if you go, so let's say I started over, right? I was fresh out or I just came off the boat, a gulu, whatever. I just came in from Africa. I was here. I would go to Chipotle like Eddie Murphy did in Coming to America. And I would go meet me a Chipotle sister or whatever it is I like. That's $42 an hour. That's $1,600 a week. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like some of y'all as a household aren't bringing in $1,600 a week because we get stuck on all this other stuff. What if we just focused, and I'm doing what I always do, break out my calculator. I'm not being rude to you. I'm adding the numbers. But what if we just did that? I mean, that's $1,600 a week times 52. That's $80,000. Let me ask you a question. Everybody listening to this that will read this or watch the video, are you bringing $83,000 gross into your house every year? Just ask you that. That is an almost minimum wage job in California. And I know Amazon, a bunch of companies out in Texas, they're having to do some of the same things. Right? So if me and my girl, I can go to Chipotle and meet a Chipotle chick, and we can bring home $87,000 gross. I give the government $1,000 a month in taxes, and some of y'all ain't gonna even do that because you're claiming 12 and 15 and 29 million. And then all the things you could do, your mortgage is 1,500. So you get you a house that you can afford, get you a couple cars, pay utilities. You know what I'm saying? That's $2,200 a month. That's it. And what do you do with the other $5,000 after you pay taxes and 401k? Because you should invest. I'm not saying do the 401k, but shit, put the money somewhere. What are you doing with the money? So, right, the Biden bag, oh yeah, that's going down. Coming to you soon, baby. I'm going to have a Donald Duffel too for the Democrats. So it's a bag in case shit go wrong, like one of them get elected president. This bag has food, Band-Aids, flashlights, you know, shit. The shit is already coming. You already can't get food and formula. We're going to put formula in the bag too, right? So the point I'm making is if the two of you worked and made $20 an hour and just focused on that, you could live a comfortable lifestyle. And while we're talking about comfortable lifestyle, notice the Cash App, you know, even if it's 50 cents or $1, that shit adds up. So if you are RN, you're making more than $20 an hour. The question is, where is Mr. or Mr. RN? I'm not giving you relationship advice, but sometimes you guys, a relationship is about what can you bring to in relation to, you know what I'm saying? Like me and my girl, we each make money. What does that do for our household? Some of you guys out there looking for love, you're doing it wrong. What you need to do, okay, maybe that sounded wrong because nobody looks for the money first, is because love will fade. But you know what doesn't fade? The dollar bill never fades. I don't care how old your dollar bill is. You got a dollar bill from 10 years ago and it was sitting in your drawer and you pulled it out, it's going to be the same color, right? Love will fade. He will get fat and bald and she will get fat, but the dollar bill will always stay the same. So focus on the money first. Do you realize it's easier to love your woman or your man if they're supporting themselves? It is easy to take care of. If my woman is like, I got the groceries, we go out to eat, it's my turn. That makes me feel better. Versus I'm taking, every time we go out, I'm digging in my pocket. No. So we can start with the money. Start with the base money, right? And if you got a man that's a garbage man, shit, you ought to be happy. Those dudes make money. So I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what the job is. If you got a man that could use his hands, that's a good thing. And then you teach him money. Because what do women always say? I want a handyman. I want a man that uses his hands. Right? And you suit brothers, like our white collar brothers like myself, know there was a time Dee will tell you I didn't use these. Like, change the faucet. Bitches, you crazy?
But he can, though.
I mean, I could do it, but I'm like, I could pay somebody to do that. But now I do it. Right? So give these brothers a chance. Tell these rappers, these Cardi B's, these Megan Thee Stallions, whose men don't even make as much as them. Who's Cardi B with? She's still with Offset?
Yeah.
Does Offset make more or does Cardi B make more?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It's not even, I don't know. You get the point. Does Jennifer Lopez make more money? Or can now Ben is making money? She probably still, but you get the point.
Jennifer Lopez, I think she's worth about $600 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Loaded. But you get the point. So a lot of these baller women, so to speak, that are saying, we want this, we want that.
Cardi is worth more.
Huh?
Cardi is worth more.
Yeah. So these women that are out there asking for these things don't even have that themselves. So stop listening to these chicks. Women, get you a good man that just loves you and I will take his ass to work. If he's bringing home $40,000 a year, do something with that 40. Man, I'm telling you, man, if I was a woman, I'd tell you what I would want. And well, that's a lie. That's a lie. Stop saying you don't need a man. You do need a man. You want a man and you need a man, because ain't nothing like being at the Atlanta hair show and then going to the after party and you ain't got your man there. I see, like, black women, stop saying you don't need men. You do need a man, or you need somebody that you're attracted to. Do not, like, I don't need a woman, but I want one. And I do need a woman because I need somebody for love and affection. And I need somebody to help me with some of these grocery bills and shit around the house. I need a partner. Do your pop. No. Period. Stop saying you don't need a man. The black women, you have to stop saying that. Period. Like, do you really want to be 60, 65, 75 with your hair cut and the orthopedic shoes and those tight ass pants that flare out at the bottom? You know what I'm talking about. If you go out, you see women running around with the tennis shoes and the slacks on and with the thing around their waist.
The fanny pack.
The fanny pack. Come on now. You know damn well you're too big for that ride. I mean, somebody needs to keep it straight. I don't want to be alone. Sometimes it's cool to be alone. But like, if we start saying, see, that security is that man. That's what I'm talking about. Even if you're, okay, so you don't need a man. But what if you had a man and he just was like, baby, I'm getting my stuff together, but I'm going to take care of the mortgage and you take care of everything else. Some of y'all women out there, it will change your life. Let me ask you, my sister D. You had a man, he was like, every month I got the rent, the mortgage. Don't even think about that. That's my shit. The food and utilities, you get that. I got the mortgage. What would your life be like?
I'd be like, hey, baby, how you doing?
You know what I'm saying?
Anything I can do for you?
Instead of you getting a job, you make sure his world is secure and you make his ass get a second job and then you can chill.
Damn, that sounds like pimping.
It's reverse pimping. But it's true. You guys, oh, here we go. I'm going to say something. I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize, but it's what came to my heart. Some of y'all could learn from a white woman. Like, seriously. I'm just fucking with you.
Now you got to explain that.
They be having the wit, man. But I'm just joking. But seriously, there's nothing wrong with pushing your man to work. You should demand that he is on top of it. There's nothing wrong with, like, your man's a janitor during the day. Okay, honey, boom, it's 5 o'clock. Food is ready. The house is clean. There's nothing you need to do but just be yourself. But come 7 o'clock, it's showtime for our other business. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is what we're talking about. All right. And yeah, I said if I was a woman, hell to the yes. Hey man, ain't no funny style shit over here. I say it all the time. If I was a woman, here's what I would want. I would want somebody like me. Or I would want a brother that's doing this. See, sometimes you guys have to look at it from the other side. I ain't no funny style shit. Don't get it twisted. My sister tell you. Shit, if I wasn't a changed man, I have 4 girls on the couch and panties and heels right now if I wasn't a changed man. But I changed. So, oh man, y'all be killing me with these comments. So,
and he got 6 children.
6 kids that I know of or told anybody about. I was a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. So you have to sometimes, I mean, like, you guys don't do that? Like, women, you don't do that? Oh, if I was a man, here's what I would want.
It's always, you should try to see it from the other person's point of view. That's how you gauge understanding.
Here's what I do. I look at men all the time and go, boom, he's got his shit together. Right? When I watch a dude walk into a room that's got muscles and shit, it reminds me that I need to hit the weights. When I see a dude get out of a clean car, I'm like, yo, that needs to be me. That's what I'm talking about. Like in my closet, it says, what would Barack do? Period. Not how he would vote. We know how that goes, but like, how would he dress? How would he talk to Michelle in an argument? How would he speak if he was out doing a seminar? Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I say if I was a woman, here's what I would want in a man. And then I try, like, matter of fact, I'm reading this book, The Way That, I told you guys to get this last week, The Way of the Superior Man. It's a good book.
Is that the one that Nipsey was reading?
I think so. Mm-hmm. Dude, this book is the business. Man, me and my girlfriend used to argue all the time. She'd get the and I'd be arguing with her, and I'm like, you know what? She don't want to talk. She don't even care. She don't even believe the shit she's saying. She just want to yap. So I just shut the hell up. Okay, baby, you're right. You almost done. What can I do differently? I'm just like, okay. And then I just leave the room. I got that from this book. Women's job is to yap and correct you. So hear it and go fix it and come back corrected. You see what I'm saying? What is that? Saving a woman money. How about a part? Okay. Listen, again, women, be nicer to yourself. If your man is going to pitch in, you help him do it. If I was a woman, here we go again. If I was a woman, I'd want to stay my ass home, take care of the house, and then make sure we have our own stuff together. Right? They do. White folks, they marry at 100 because they get it. Baby, how your check? My check is good. How your check? We got 2 checks. Let's check in. I mean, shit. Compatible my ass. Man, money makes you compatible. Me and my girlfriend, we don't have shit in common. Except we like to travel and eat the same foods. And that's sometimes. But what we do have in common is our financial goals and situations. So we get to cussing each other out, and it's mainly her cussing. I think we got this property, we got that property, we got this property. She's on, I'm on her credit cards. I think about all that shit. So when I think about leaving the relationship, I think about I have to meet another chick, and she could be a freak. I got to run that risk, and all that other shit I got to deal with, just to end up where I'm at anyway, with a chick that's going to be cussing my ass out. So I focus on the stability and what I want to do at the end of the day. Fellas, help me out here in the chat. If you just with a woman and you're not getting nothing in return, and you just drink and you go home and you smoke and do what you do and you wake up in the morning by yourself, is that, or she leaves, you get anything from that? No. You want to be with that woman. Women, you want to be with that man that's going to be like, yo, let's do this together. Yeah, I'm making $21 an hour. You making $21 an hour. We making $80,000 a year. That is a lot of money. Do you understand? Like, if you graduate from college, most of these kids are getting $35,000. You work at Chipotle, you make more than a fool coming out of college. And hey, here's the other thing. I haven't said a thing about materialism, have I? I mean, you consider food and rent and mortgage and a place to stay. When it rains, you don't get soaked. Materialism, that's material. So yeah, and you guys, and you should want material shit, but you should take care of yourself first. Because you guys, at the end of the day, most of us could survive on what we make. We don't need a nice watch. We don't need a Range Rover or BMW. We could drive a Toyota Corolla and get back and forth to work and get where we need to go. Seriously. So, but we want to feel better, and Louis Vuitton and Mercedes has done such a good job at branding that we want that. What if we do it? What if we brand ourselves? You know what I'm saying? You guys, here's another book, The Tanning of America by Steve Stout. This is the brother from Translation and who put Jay-Z and introduced Nas to Ring, and like, just a powerful brother. Like, they come to us for the style, and then they get rich off of it. We could do the same thing. The only thing we don't do is we won't pull the trigger. And here's another thing I want to say. The hell with Black History Month. I'll say it. If it were up to me, I would get rid of Black History Month. I would cut it loose. Let the Asians have their month. Let them get caught up by the distractions and all that shit. Instead of them making money and grinding it out, let them sit up and go, oh, we got our own holiday, our own month. Let them have May. They could be distracted like we were with Black History Month. February is one of the most unproductive months for Black people all year because we sitting around, oh, we got our own month. Now it's Juneteenth. So now we're going out spending money at the bars and the restaurants. And we buying flags and banners and buying in all this shit. Let the Asians have their month. We can give Black History Month back. Because how do you have a month when you are the history? When you people kill. Benjamin Banneker was the father of time, right? I mean, I could be wrong. because I haven't been to London yet. But Benjamin Banneker, if I'm correct, was the father of time. When you go to London, do you ever wonder why they call that Big Ben? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah.
For just one moment, right? Every time you run a stoplight, that's Garrett Morgan. Like, we don't need a month. We created the time clock for the whole year. Do you realize the Africans, they just found this, oh my God, that stick I was talking about, this stick and from Africa from way before anyone else that they used to use to track time and all kinds of stuff. We are that. Do you understand what I'm saying? We are the key, the foundation. So we don't need a month. What we need to do is move ahead. Me and my sister had a heart-to-heart conversation before this podcast. Let's pull, I'm not aiming, like maybe this is the wrong time to be pointing a weapon. But like, we need to pull the trigger. Just take the shot. I'm gonna give you guys, here we go. Here's a tip. Here's a money move. Can I do that? Here's a money move. My son Evan is upstairs and his buddy Thomas. Right now, we are on Alibaba West. See these candle things? It's a candle sniffer or it's a bell. Hey, baby, I'm ready to eat. I'm just kidding. I want one of those, though. You see me cutting the wick, right? Boom, my wick is nice and short. You know, I can dig the wick out with my shit so I can reach the wick instead of using my nails. And then I can turn around and I can light this shit. Let me tell you something. This shit made me, I paid $22 for this kit on Amazon. You could go to Ali West right now, Alibaba, and buy this whole kit for $2. The same exact kit is $2 to the mother effing dollars on Ali West. They don't say, hey, are you a nigga? Oh, no, they don't. They don't ask for your IP address. They just say, would you like a sample? And how many of these do you want? You can order 100 of these. $200. It's mind-blowing to me. So that's what my son is doing upstairs. These damn candles. It cost me $4 to make this candle. By the time I put it in a box and everything, it'll be $5. Do you know you can go to Alibaba right now and buy this candle already sealed in vanilla in a black beautiful box with your logo on it for $1.50? Like, yo, like here you go. Ali West. You don't have to leave the house. Go to your house. Here it is. Yo, Evan. Don't forget about the liquidator. I just came up with something. I'm drinking this water bottle. I'm going to put the liquidator on here. This water bottle cost me $15, $20. I know I could buy this shit from China for $2. So why not the liquidator? You heard it here first, right? Liquidate the fat, because where water goes, fat flows. That's what's going to be on the side right here. So this is a $20 bottle. That's $2 on Ali West. You guys, we don't have to struggle like black women. When your man is out getting the bag, working 2 jobs, you do this stuff. And I know it's hard for black people for us to talk about being a couple. Lord forbid, talk about like 2 of us working together. Like, imagine that shit. If black men, and listen, if you were a white woman or Mexican woman, hey, it's part of the game. We talking to you too. Because sometimes I think we as black people, like, it's good for us to take care of our race, but sometimes we have to push some of that shit to the side and say, yo, he's a black man, she's a white woman. Okay, she's with a white man. Can they still help us? Do you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say about that, right? Keep it moving. Am I making sense? I don't know shit about Amazon, but...
She's saying, do they have an app? I think it was Alibaba you're talking about. It's Jack
Hell
Ma.
yeah. Yeah, it's Jack Ma, the richest dude in China. Jack Ma. You guys, here's the deal. Oh my God, I sound like Joe Biden. Lord help me, Lord. I'm going to lose my hair. It's going to be flat to the back. No, these candles are $19. From Ali West, they are $1.50 coming to you because they will say lit. Right, I'm going to take my chocolate and Japanese melon and call it Blasian like that, right? I mean, we got all kinds of flavors. But you can go to Alibaba and then you can take this and throw it right on Amazon. Matter of fact, Amazon will hold the merchandise for you. And all you got to do is buy your stuff from Alibaba. You take your shipment and you send it to the Amazon warehouse. And when Amazon gets an order, they send it out. You're out of the deal. All you got to do is called sourcing. You get the materials, you get it to Amazon, and they'll take it from there, baby. All you got to do is blow up the link. I'm gonna give you another tip. It's money, right? We still talk about money. It's cool. Okay. All right. Here's another thing you could do. I'm giving you guys game, and I don't mind sharing it with you, right? Um, I hear. See, here's you guys. In order for us to be equal, we got to start being equal. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I want Asians to spend money with me. I want white people to spend money with me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when it comes to money, I don't get stuck on the race. I will try and hire a black person first. Every time I start something, I always reach for a brother or sister first. I do. But I'm not going to break my neck and go without until I find one. I'm going to just keep moving. Because, and I'm going to say something else. Shit, while we talking about money, do you realize that of all my clients in financial planning, almost 75% of them are white women. And I do this show. I have white women, so I heard you on the show. I don't, I love black people. That ain't us. I ain't caring. The point I'm making is I don't really care where the money comes from. It's what I do with the money. If I use that money to hire black people, isn't that the same as helping black people? Like, are you really telling me that you won't take a dollar from a white or Asian or Mexican dude? I mean, like, come on now, seriously.
Dr. Claude Anderson says, buy from your own and sell to everybody.
We are black people. We are what's called a consumer.
We're the largest consumer.
Right.
Especially in America.
Yes. So now what we ought to do, y'all got a brother standing up. Now what we ought to do is become a prosumer. Produce and consume your own shit. I used to go to Best Buy and buy candles. Not Best Buy. I used to go buy shit, electronics, they next. I used to go to Bed Bath & Beyond and Walmart and Home Goods and buy candles. F Walmart. The hell with them. I made this candle and now I got it down to like $2.50. This was $4, but the other ones I've learned how to get it down. So I still got the right lavender. What was that? Lavender Fields. I don't care. I mean, you want a eucalyptus, I'll send you one. Right now, we're still waiting on the label. But the point I'm making is I produce this candle and then I'm lighting it. That saves me gas, energy, the chance of getting in a car accident, fighting with somebody on the bottom of the ring in Walmart. And I can produce and consume my own shit. You guys could do that. You could go to a candle factory, candlewarehouse.com, whatever. 16, 17 candles. Go get your shit and make your own candle for $2-3. And then you can afford to have 100 of them lit in the house. That's the type of stuff we need to be having a conversation with. That's it. So, and honestly, black people, we got to get better at protecting ourselves financially so we can afford to spend money. See, there's nothing wrong with spending money with a Mexican or a white dude if you're taking care of yourself. Now, yeah, you should look for a black cleaner first just to help push the race up. But, like, don't go without. Like, the dude that works on my car is Mexican. My buddy, I think he's Mexican. Fuck, I don't know what he is. He got black hair, so maybe, who knows? But I'm not sitting there going, I need a black man mechanic. I'm just like, yo, I need somebody to run my business for me. That's it. But I'm taking that money and I'm using it to help my race. We could do that. So I gave you the Alibaba tip. Do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm jumping in front of the comments about the comments. But so I don't know. Well, it's just long.
I don't know if he's talking about Dr. Claude Anderson. Stephen, how you doing? If you could expound upon your comment. How you doing, by the way?
I mean, whatever it is. I mean, I don't know a lot about Dr. Claude Anderson. I know I watch the shit he's saying still makes sense, right? And
let me address this. Michael, how you doing? You said, I don't want to hear that nonsense about black people spend trillions of dollars on Jordans, Gucci, hair, etc. This proves that we do not have the kind of economic power you're claiming if we don't own it. So I don't know where we are getting our wires crossed, but as you know, we do see about $1.3 trillion in our community. However, we give 97% of that away on, Jordans and things like that and other stuff. So we are consumeristic and we do not really own and control any businesses. So that's why we really spend our money outside of our community. And so we could have economic power if we kept more of the money within our community. So we have the money, we just don't keep the money, if that makes any sense. But it's a known fact that we do spend the most money on those things. I know it doesn't seem like we do, but we do. We are unfortunately more consumeristic in buying things that have no
of course we are,
appreciation, if you will. No appreciation. Like Jordans don't appreciate, they depreciate. Even cars, they don't appreciate, they depreciate. We need to get more into buying real estate, land, and all that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff appreciates. But I think we're all kind of saying the same thing. But I think if we, would maybe just kind of bring it down a notch or two so we can learn and not get our wires crossed, I think we'll all be better off.
You know what designer brands appreciate when they sell? Is Yeezy. Do you realize when they sell a pair of Yeezys, they actually go up in value after they are bought?
I got a pair that I could sell them right now probably for about $1,000.
So, man, I love Kanye West. That dude, I'm telling you.
And they were given to me, by the way. I didn't buy them. Somebody gave them to me.
I mean, I would buy a pair of Yeezys. I'm going to wait for him to give me some. But I love Kanye's story because against all odds, he did it. We could all do the same thing. So we just have to pick something. I just gave you the game about Alibaba. Anything in your house you want to buy, you can go to Alibaba and you can buy it from the Chinese, right? Now, the reparations ain't coming. So let's how about we boom shakalaka that shit to the universe? It ain't coming. I'm turning to George Jefferson over here. Reparations, and you know how you get reparations is we give them to ourselves. You know how you get reparations is you teach your kids business. You teach them hustle. That's how you repair shit. Man, Joe Biden right now, he's got B2K, not B2K, BTS at the White House. Like, can you imagine B2K at the White House podium? Or Drew Hill? Not, oh, look, Joe Biden is having a dinner with like Dave Chappelle. I'm talking about at the podium of the White House. He got a sister girl with natural hair and all the check marks, dark skin, natural hair. He checked all the boxes with her, but he got BTS behind him. Like, if you didn't feel the energy I felt, I sent you a screenshot. I was like,
I covered it. I covered the story. Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, if that shit, whoa. Like, if that ain't saying something, man, y'all better hope the Asians don't think like we think. Like, okay, it's really our turn. Yeah, and holidays, scratch those, man. I don't celebrate Christmas. I tell my kids, miss me with that shit. Christmas, you ain't getting here's some advice. Call me back on the 26th. Seriously. I'm like, when you see Santa Claus, ask him to buy you something. It's stupidity. And keep that up for a second. You guys, the holidays is killing Black people. First of all, I'm gonna chill. The holidays are killing us. Cut that shit out. Easter. Y'all Negroes, you're up there with your Easter clothes. You're up in the mall buying an Easter suit that you ain't gonna, because next year you gotta buy, I can't be seen in the same suit. Like, there's no, newsflash, there's no rabbit. Because if I see a rabbit cross the street, I'm gonna cut his ass up and put him in the pot. Unless he's Bug Bunny, right? I'm asking for a check, right? All these holidays we get stuck on. Knock it off already. Man, I hate to hear someone say, oh, I can't start my financial plan because Christmas is coming. You dumbass. What are you talking about? That's how we ought to be talking to ourselves. Miss me with the holidays, right? While you at it, though, and you guys, it's a sensitive subject, buy you a weapon. Get you, what did Nas say? You better get yourself a gun. I know that, that was a classic, by the way. Get you a weapon. Do you guys understand this gun control? I don't believe in the automatics and all that shit, like, right? Because I ain't going to be pulling a machine gun anyways. But damn, we need a weapon. especially black people. We've had 2 massacres in what, like a month?
Well, actually, it's more than that. Those are just the more, well-known Buffalo and Uvalde.
Do you know there are people sitting around right now saying, "Oh, I want to do that," because they're nuts and they're stuck in some of these crazy ways. Somebody that's in that state of mind does not care. Do you guys know that that's happening to more people? What in the world? Oh,
Some big giant boots that Kanye is wearing. I don't know if you saw them. They're like huge.
yeah, he wore them at the him and Drake did the concert for Save.
No, they're huge. They're huge boots.
Is somebody buying them?
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, somebody's buying those big ugly boots. I want to sell some big ugly boots too. So that's the other thing, you guys. Let's get stopped. If somebody made Boo Boo the Fool the doll and was like, "Yo, do you want to sell Boo Boo with me? Does Boo Boo make money?" Boo Boo the cash cow. That's what we're gonna call it. Boo Boo the cash cow, right? A piggy bank for your kids. So you heard it here first. I don't care what it is. If it makes money, do it. Some of you guys are $200,000-$300,000 away from financial independence. Do you realize you don't even need 200 grand. Some of you, if you had $50,000 saved, you could quit your job right now. Seriously. Some of you got equity in your home. You could refinance, pull that shit out. You could start something. Borrow money off your credit card. Here's another tip. You could borrow money off your credit card and say, "Okay, I'm going to take $5,000 off my credit card. And I'm going to take this $5,000 and I'm going to take 2 weeks off of work. And I'm going to use that $5,000. And the only thing I'm going to do for those 2 weeks is I'm going to work on my business. I'm going to go to Alibaba. I'm going to find a product. I'm going to create a Shopify. And I'm going to buy from Alibaba, throw it on my Shopify. And I'm going to go to some influencers and I'm going to ask them to promote my shit." Matter of fact, right now, I'll read it to you. You guys can steal this shit. I could care less. There's money all over the place. Where's this message at? I just sent this message to, if you guys ever seen, and don't hit him up because I already hit him up. Remember the Ocean Spray commercial where the dude was drinking Ocean Spray on his skateboard, the Mexican dude? Anyways, long story short, the dude, his car breaks down. He takes a skateboard to work. On his skateboard, he's drinking Ocean Spray. And he decides to shoot a video for TikTok and upload it. "Oh, those boots are fly. I don't know what y'all talking about. I want those." Shit. I'll be stomping in my big black boots. I like those. I ain't gonna pay that $4,000 for them. But this guy uploads it, and in the first 7 hours gets 1 million views. 1 million views. Right now he has 3 million followers. 3 million followers from putting up that video. He's kicking it with Snoop, Ocean Spray. He's singing the song "Players Only Love You" by Fleetwood Mac. He's got all of Fleetwood Mac in a video holding Ocean Spray skating. Here's the point I'm making to you guys. All you have to do is try something. And the dude goes, "Oh, I wasn't going to put it up because I didn't want people to laugh, and I didn't want to." He was like, at the end of the day, he's like, "Who cares what they think? I'm going to do it." Now he's rolling. I sent him a message, and his manager sent me a message back, was like, "Yo, reach out to him." So I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll do that. I'll reach out to him. What do I have to lose?" Right? So you on day one, you still have 13 days of not being at work. Then what you do is you go on Instagram and TikTok and you reach out to all these influencers and you say, "Hey, I got my own brand. I want you to wear my shit. What do you want in return for wearing my shit?" Does that make sense? Here it is. So the Ocean Spray dude, I'm gonna show you. Here it is. Boom. There's his message. I don't know if you can read that. That's me, the apron. There it is. His name is Anthony Kazatz. "Nice to meet you. Can you give me more details?" This dude has 3 million followers. Just send me an email. He's like, "I would love to meet you." The dude has videos with Snoop, Fleetwood Mac. The dude has been all over the news. I sent the dude a message and he hit me back. So when I hang up with you guys, I'm going to call his ass and say, yo, we got Verbal Herb, our own clothing line. Would you wear our shit and skate, and we'll split this money? I'm gonna send you an affiliate link. Every hat, shirt you rock, you sell, you'll get a piece of it through your affiliate link. Tell your 3 million followers, thou that gives a shirt off his back shall be naked. You know what I'm saying? Thou that catch a falling knife shall get cut. You know what I'm saying? Revenue equals rights. Peace of mind is the best interest rate. Tell your 3 million followers that shit. And while you at it, so I told my crew, we're going to reach out to 100 influencers a day. That's it. Create our TikToks, all our social medias, and reach out to them fools. And if they say no, cool. Because if we reach out to 100 and let's say we reach out to 100 influencers, you got 2 weeks off, right? You got 14 days. You reach out to 100 a day and you get one a day. You got 14 influencers promoting your brands. You do not tell me that you need to go back to work. Maybe you go back for 2 weeks and give you a notice. But if you have 14 people with 1 million views each promoting your shit, do you really think you were at work in 2 more weeks after that? No. What's stopping anybody watching this shit from doing that right now? Anybody. There's nothing. And you notice I haven't left my chair. All the shit I'm telling you to do, I'm doing from my house, from this chair. You could do that. But we need to put all these other subjects away. This, that, the shit black people fight about. Man, we are so distracted. The white man, and I'm only saying the white man because I know that's part of our excuse not to do shit, is the white man is holding us back. Some of them are. Grant Cardone, Uncle G, hail to the yeah, follow Grant Cardone. He's the reason I rent this house. I love Grant Cardone. He's a white dude too. He don't know it. Him and Ed Milet, man, you talk to them, they be like, hey, what's up, brother? I'm like, okay, I feel you. They want our swag. But Grant Cardone said, and I heard him on stage, the dude says, do not buy a house. Buy a rental property first and let the rental property pay your bills, pay your mortgage and your rent. Like, damn, that's crazy. I was telling my sister this. So I guess we go into the 3rd and 5th ward in Texas, in Houston, right? I always hear it's a bad neighborhood, but I understand now they got a Riverwalk. And come to Riverwalk, come to gentrification. I just watched a seminar with this cat, Julian. He has 33 reasons to know if a neighborhood is being gentrified. And that's where he buys his shit. It's sad, but it's what happens. So why not take some of these tips? Now, you can do that. And these strategies don't ask for your color. So sometimes, yeah, you got to be cool. You got to be pro-black. I get it. My sister would tell me and her were raised by the most Muslim. Like, my father is nuts when he gets talked, man. Sometimes I'd be like, oh shit, don't look to the right. Don't, we have to, because my father, he'll go off on the subject and he will educate you. Man, we could be eating a banana. He'd be like, see this banana? No, what happened was this banana, the black man created this banana. And a version of the black man did create the banana because the African, and you get the point. So put the diversions away. Like right now, you know what black people are watching? Just Monique and D.L. Hughley shit.
I was wondering if you was going to bring that up.
Hell yes. And here's why I like D.L. Hughley. I don't agree with all the shit he says. But he made a good point. Because she came out, and you can leave that comment up. Because I love when people say that shit. He made a good point. And it's kind of like where you go, you take you with you. At one point, it's got to be you. It's got to be you. I don't know shit about Oprah, Lee, and all the 50 people she named off that have screwed her over. No, I'm not eating meat. Are we talking about the rabbit?
Sometimes people watch it. They're a little bit behind.
Oh, no. No. I'm not eating meat all the time. No, I haven't. The meat I push to the side, right? I give it to my family. No, I'm just kidding. We got to get rid of it. But no, the Monique, she got on stage It was talking about a black man that insults a black woman. First of all, I didn't hear him say shit about it. I didn't hear him attack her. You guys have to stop using your being a black woman as an excuse. Like, black women, you guys are powerful. You can do whatever you want. The reason Monique doesn't have a $10 million deal because she's not doing $10 million business.
Watch your mouth about Monique now. That's my girl.
But no.
But you know what, though? She actually just did a live, and I was watching it before I came on here. I didn't finish about halfway in, and she broke it all down as to why she did what she did. You got to watch it. So that's why I haven't said anything about it, because I wanted to see all of, hear from her point of view, and see Darden. You say DL is worthless and spineless, and I totally agree with you.
Well, listen. You guys, so are you looking at DL as a businessman, or are you looking at him as a comedian, or you looking at what type of man he is when he gets his ass off stage?
We talking about him being a sellout. First of all, you don't go and talk bad about the minister. See, that's when we have to cut him off.
Well, see,
when he went on Vlad, and he allowed Vlad to talk greasy about Farrakhan, and he didn't check him. He went on along with the lie. And DL, to me, I just feel like he's maybe, on the payroll of the White House or somebody, because the things that he says and going after a lot of people, especially people who are asking like the Biden administration for tangibles for black people, he want to talk the opposite. Oh, what the Biden administration doing this? Oh, Trump gonna come in if so he ain't really for black people. And Monique, in this last live that I was listening to, she's really doing the math and dissecting DL Hughley, and she has not missed a mark yet. Go check it out on her Instagram.
But here's the point I'm making, and I preface it by saying I don't agree with everything he does. You're not going to agree with everybody, but I've watched her come on stage and wear this man out and use every cuss word, every foul language. But okay, let's say he did. Is it appropriate for us to keep coming out like that?
If you watch her live, she explains why she did it. I'm gonna tell you just from what I saw. Since we're talking about it, she says she did that to him. She said, I already knew that I was gonna hand him his ass that night. She said, I did it because he spent all these years talking bad about her to Steve Harvey, Vlad, and just different people running her low, talking about she got mental illnesses, she's hard to work with, and all this other stuff. But she says what he did not tell you is when I opened for him back in the 90s, and it was during also Mike Tyson fight was going on that night. She said 10 people showed up to the show. And so she says, well, you know what? How about you and those 10 people come back to my house? I'm going to cook for y'all, and we can just take the party over there. So she said they did. So she said they really hadn't had a time to really work together. But when this whole thing unraveled with Oprah and Lee Daniels and all that, she said he spent all those years talking really bad about her. And she said the last straw was when they invited her. He wasn't at the radio show. They invited her onto the radio show. And after she, talked or whatever, he said his right-hand girl, Jasmine, you guys know Jasmine, she sits on there with him. She asked her, would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Stephens without a condom? And she said, what? So she said she called DL because he wasn't there and told him, hey, this is inappropriate. He said, oh, well, it is what it is. So she said, this is how y'all really getting down. You gonna, disrespect me and my husband. He said, it is what it is. So she said she already knew because she said she knew the minute she got in earshot of him or in the same space that she was going to wear his ass out. So she said that was for him of years and years and years, not only talking greasy about her, but talking greasy about Reza Islam, Farrakhan, and a whole bunch of other people just being, the lapdog of white supremacy. I ain't finished watching it yet, but that's what I got so far. Continue.
All that shit might be true, but at what point do we stop wearing each other out in public?
Well, I guess she's like, hey, I'm going to deal it to you how you dealt it to me. And she said a good point too, which, one thing I would say about Monique might be a little eccentric, but she going to bring a receipt for your ass every time. She says, DL runs around the internet and on everybody's shows and freely speaks and talks about everybody else. And she said he got tender. She says, "Oh, I didn't know you was gonna get tender about somebody talking about you." But she said you run around talking greasy about everybody else, and nobody says anything to you. She said I brought Steve Harvey into it because Steve Harvey and DL was talking about how they stopped her from embarrassing herself one day and this, that, and the other. They had to cut some things out of something they did. And she said they flat out lied on me. She said it was a flat out lie. So she says, yes, I was gonna let him know you would not disrespect me, you'll not disrespect my husband, and it don't feel so good when it's being done back to you. So, like I said, I'm not finished watching it. But Team Monique anyway.
No, I get it. But at one point, we got to stop attacking each other in public. This shit is, and I didn't hear half the shit she said. I didn't even hear it through the cuss words and this and that and all that stuff.
It was legendary. You know, they call her, and Richard Pryor called her, Mrs. Pryor, said that she was a female version of him and she was one of the greatest to ever do it. And that came from Richard Pryor himself. So I feel like with a lot of these comedians out there with Monique, I think a lot of it is jealousy. I think they are really, because Monique, I don't care what y'all say, Monique is funny and Monique is good at what she does. And one thing I like about Monique, I can say what y'all want to say about her, but she is a pro-Black sister. And she is well educated. She ain't one of these other, I ain't gonna call their names, but other comedians out there, well, as long as they paying me my money, I don't care which way to where I go first. Because what they're also saying is, I don't care if you disrespect me, as long as you paying me. And she's like, no, you're not going to disrespect me. And if I allow you to disrespect me, then everybody else that's coming up behind me is going to be disrespected as well. And she says the other thing, D.L. Hewley, talked about Black women and this. And she says, are sticking up for Black women. She says, when is the last time y'all actually saw D.L. Hewley defend a Black woman? In fact, he defended Kim Kardashian against, what Kanye was saying. He inserted himself into that drama, and Kate for her. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of DL and the whole Kanye thing. I mean, Kanye's my man. So
yeah, but I'm saying, so DL Hewley does freely run his mouth all over everybody else. But when somebody says something about him, then he tried to, get on this pedestal like, oh, I'm the victim, like he tried to do with Kanye. Kanye addressed DL because DL went on Vlad's TV or video show and was talking shit about him. So Kanye was like, you need to might want to mind your business. And that's how that whole thing came out. And once again, DL Hewley plays like he's the victim.
Yeah, I heard he fronted him in the bathroom, which is probably how you should do it. Which they were at Nobu or something. I get it. Like, that's how you do it. If you got a problem with somebody, deal with that shit. But like, this is the shit we are all talking about, is the Monique and D.O. Hewley thing. You know what I'm saying? What else has happened in the news today? Can anyone tell me? Like, that's my point. What else happened in the news today? Or yesterday?
What happened? Because I cover some things. My mind is fried right now. What did I talk about today? Shit, I don't know. Something happened. I know that a lot of Black staffers are leaving the White House. Surprise. I
mean, that was coming. Remember when I said last week about Facebook? I gave you guys a bunch of stocks to buy. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Facebook's, JP Morgan's, this what is it? What is it? Oh, Salesforce. All those stocks are up. Carnival, they're all up from 10, 12, 14 bucks. This is what I'm talking. And Glad is, I don't even know why Vlad is even still popular. That's whatever. I don't even like, and who's watching Vlad anyways?
He's got almost 5 million subscribers, and you know how he's enriched? He's enriched by having Black people go on his show, tell their stories, this, that. And they also say that Vlad, I'm just saying, allegedly, he blocked me on Twitter because I called him out about DL. So he blocked me on Twitter, whatever. But it is alleged that he is an agent because a lot of people, rappers and stuff, go on the show, they get to run their mouth. And, the FBI has used information from his show to catch people up. But so he doesn't pay people to come on and give those interviews, but he makes all of that money off of Black people. And so there's been a lot of artists who have said, you know what, after you talk greasy about Farrakhan and DL, let that slide. We're not messing with you no more. Oh gosh, what's this rapper's name? It slips my mind. He was one of his most popular interviews. Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar was on there so many times, but when he talked crazy about the minister, he said, I'm not messing with him no more. Godfrey was another one of his highest watched interviewees, and he said, from that talking bad about Farrakhan, I'm not going back on there anymore. So yeah, so Vlad is not. He talks about Black stuff with Black people, but he is not for Black people, and that's another thing Monique said too.
Does anybody think that though? He's for Black people?
Well, I mean,
I never watched the shit and got that. Like he's a Black.
Know, but he profits off of Black people. I think that's
he's
the point.
A TNT.
Well, they all do, and I think we, I can't tell people what to do. I wouldn't keep going on nobody's show, and I'm not getting paid, from these millions and millions of views of interviews or whatever the case is. But that's another thing Monique says. She says he went on on Vlad and talked real greasy about me and allowed Vlad to talk greasy about me as well. So she said, oh yeah, I already knew the next time I was in the same room with him, wherever it was gonna go down. So
no, I believe it can go down, but at one point we have to get past it's something every day for Black people. We like D.L. Hughley is rich doing his own thing, and I'm assuming Monique has got some money too. So like, why don't we scoot that shit to the side, and start focusing on more powerful shit? Like, you guys know Anita Baker. I didn't even know this till yesterday. I heard this on a white radio, on a white station, that Anita Baker is in Las Vegas. I've been waiting to see this woman for years. She's down the street from me.
And you know who helped her buy her masters back?
Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper.
I heard that on the financial news station.
Yeah, I saw it on a Black publication that I saw her pay homage to him. He was in the crowd. She said, I would like to thank Chance the Rapper for helping me get my masters, because y'all know Anita was like, don't play my stuff because they won't give me my masters. And finally they did. I don't know who it was, what radio, was it Arista? I don't know who it was.
He was on Arista, I think. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so Chance the Rapper, he helped her get her masters back. So that's pretty cool.
So now people are going to be sampling her shit left and right. She's going, hey man, you want to sample my shit? You want to play my song? And so the point I'm making is that's the type of stories we should be focusing on. Because I know when I was managing the rapper Delicious, we tried to sample her song. She was like, no Negroes, you're not sampling my stuff. She probably let you sample it now, right? So there's more news, right? I mean, say whatever you want about Joe. I don't follow Joe enough, but like, I don't know. I don't know about Joe Rogan. I do like Joe Rogan, but I don't watch the shit enough to know what side he's on, right? I know they went after Joe for trying to keep it real about the coronavirus, but that's a whole nother subject. So why don't we focus on the stuff that what really helps Black people is having, like, why do we love Jay-Z? Besides the fact that he's one of the greatest rappers to ever live. And there's some people that will see the look on your face. There's some people that will do what you just did. I don't know. I mean, come on, Jay-Z's a bomb. The dude is magnificent on the mic. I don't care how you feel about Jay-Z. The dude is marvelous on the mic, right? Regardless of what you think about him, he's a businessman. Why don't we focus on stuff like that? I know he got with the NFL and a lot of Black people got salty, but what did we all do last year? We watched the Super Bowl. We forgot about that shit so fast, as Black people always do. Who's Big L? I don't know who Big L is. But again, I didn't say he was the best. Did I?
You said he was great, one of the greatest rappers, I think, of all time, or something like that.
One of the greatest. See, I want to keep it in this lane. He's one of the greatest. We can learn from Jay-Z. We can learn from Chance. He's obviously a businessman. Do you know how hard it is to get your masters back?
And he's a philanthropist as well. He does a lot for the people and the kids in Chicago. So I don't think people know a lot about Chance the Rapper, other than, maybe y'all do, other than him being a rapper, but he does a lot.
So Why don't we focus on what the hell is Chance the Rapper doing to get this money? I know he's a rapper, but it sounds like he's also a businessman. That's the shit we should be talking about. Where is, you guys, when we end this podcast, it's going to be money time. We should be having those conversations because as we focus more on the money, some of this other stuff will just become really stupid, right? Actually, what else is in the news? Like right now, interest rates are moving towards 6%.
And gas is supposed to go up even higher.
Europe just cut Russia off, accepting their imports. Where in the hell you think they're gonna get their oil from? Well, I mean, when you have 20 people sharing the same bucket, sooner or later it's gonna go up. You guys are familiar with supply and demand. Gas is going up, interest rates are going up, food prices have gone up tremendously. Everything's going up. What are you guys going to do when they pull the rug? I watched a video today on Facebook. The dude got into an Uber, a humanless Uber.
He better than me because I wouldn't have got up in that. I've seen that. It wouldn't have been me.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what Master P's daughter has to do with money.
Well, because we were talking, as you said, what's in the news.
Oh, so, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, those things were in the news, yeah. And the sister, and I just covered that too. The sister that was shot 5 times, a pregnant sister, so they say, shot 5 times by the police.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Let me preface the question better. What is in the news that relates to helping us? That's what I mean, right? What can we use? There's so much stuff. Do you guys realize you can go on YouTube and you can start anything that you want? I just told you how to start a business. Now, here's the other thing. Did I say how much money you needed to do that? Very little. Very little. You can start a business on Alibaba for $200. And here's Jay-Z, Robert Smith. They're all, he lived and he got out. And you know where it took him? To Whole Foods.
Yes, that's the one I saw. And he was like, oh my God, like there's really nobody driving. The car is driving. It was a Tesla, right?
No, it was an Uber car. Tesla's doing it too.
Yeah.
So Tesla's doing it too. But
I saw her later on the freeway. My daughter and I saw later on the freeway the other day. She's in the Tesla and she's she says on the phone, she's putting her makeup on and the car was driving itself. I'm like, hell to the no.
They are driving, but with the Tesla, you have to touch the wheel. Otherwise, it'll start beeping and it'll go crazy. You can't just, kick it. I tried that. It won't let you do that. But we are moving. So, and my, I don't know if you want to, he's not my brother-in-law yet because I'm not married to his wife's crazy sister yet. But he was like, and I don't know if this, I guess this is public information. Uber said this. They're moving their American staff, cutting them loose and sending and hiring, going overseas. Every time you call the company, what company did I call today? And so a Filipino lady answered. And I always mess with them. I'm all, Sige, how's the weather over there? Como está now? I always mess with them. But the businesses are sending over to the Philippines right now. I can get a social media digital expert for dollars an hour. And they'll sit there and they'll work. That's what companies are doing. Those jobs are coming from people, not just Black people anymore. White people, Mexican people, everybody, those jobs. Amazon, their shit is it's automated.
I also saw too in the news that they said in the month of April, I think it was, over 4 million people left their jobs. They're just checking out. And they said even, that we have a labor surplus. A lot of people are just like, eh. And then Elon Musk said that his employees need to come back to work 40 hours a week now or something like that, because I guess they had not been in the office.
Yeah, I didn't see that part. But they are hiring. So they're hiring overseas, and then they are. He's like, we're in business for money. That's it. Americans talk too fucking much. You can't say shit to them. They got the mean face. Every time you say something to them, oh, I don't know. Well, I don't know. But what don't you know? The robot don't say shit. Man, when I don't like self checkout because it's taking a human job. But damn, I went to a Walmart, and I try not to go in Walmart. That shit is dangerous for your health. But I'm in Walmart, and they're just talking about their business, and the line is long as hell. I'm like, nobody wanted, so I took my black ass to self checkout. He ain't talking about his baby mama, ain't no shit. He just ching ching chong, whatever the machine makes, the sound. Boom, I'm in the car. They still, the line is long as hell. They still talking about the drama. Robots don't deal with that shit. And they are starting with the lower jobs. The Ubers, the Lyfts, the Uber Eats, the deliveries. They're dealing with that. The checkout stand, they're starting with those. If you go into a bank and you see the robot, you can pull $4,000 from the ATM with no human. All they got to do is go, hey, Walter, okay, you got your ID? Boom, $4,000 comes out the machine. No human. Those are black jobs, white jobs, Mexican jobs. And you guys, I mean, again, black people, you're allowed to work at Tesla. You can buy a Tesla. And I know for a fact that Elon is not racist against black people, period. I mean, I don't know for a fact like I know him, but I'm assuming he's not kicking it with Dave Chappelle catching the coronavirus together because he don't like black people. But I could be wrong. I don't know him personally. And does it matter? Do you think Procter and Gamble, you think they like the Negro? Do you think Louis Vuitton, that's my new brand, Louis and Vuitton. Do you think Christian Louis, Gucci, do you think they like the so-called Negro? What about Liz Claiborne? She's like, I don't want niggas wearing my shit. I don't even want black people wearing her. And who else? Who's the other dude? Is it Tommy Hilfiger?
They said, I think they said it was Tommy Hilfiger, but allegedly that was a myth. But a lot of those designers are like, we don't make these labels. They said this back in the day for black people, right? But a perfect example, well, Walter, he used to work for American Express, and they have the coveted black card, right? And Walter would get the black card for a lot of people in the entertainment industry, or he would try to anyway. And they said, we don't want rappers to have this card. We're not trying to have it lose its prestige. And so the point is, we put more value on that stuff than the companies even want us to. But now, of course, they know if black people wear it, it's going to be hot. Like Balenciaga. I never even heard about Balenciaga until a couple of years ago, and that was from us. I didn't even know it's been around for a long time, and I guess it's a white-owned brand. I don't know if it's a derivative of Gucci or something. I don't know nothing about that kind of stuff, really. But we make that kind of stuff hot. But a lot of times those companies are like, shit, we got the clientele to buy this stuff, but, it's whatever.
Right. And let me rephrase the question. I'm going to go back. I'm reading some of these comments. Does it matter that Elon Musk is racist? What's it got to do with me?
And what can you do about it?
You guys buy shit from racist people all the time. Go through your cabinet. Go through your food cabinet. Do you think they are not racist? Some of you guys have an account at Chase. And Chase, they financed the slave trade. You realize in the bond market, the first bond that was ever traded was a slave. $1,000 for a slave times 4 million is like 4 trillion, some crazy number. The first commodity, the first bond to ever trade in the stock market was a black man, the slave. They used to trade slaves. That was the original bond market.
Facts.
Who in the hell do you think was underwriting some of that shit? Chase Manhattan. But y'all take your black asses up to Chase. Be, hey, Chase, is you racist? They don't like Negroes. They don't, but they want your money because you spend 97% of it. So I don't give a fuck if they're racist. Can I get something from it? Can I get something to help my people? That's it. I don't walk into a grocery store and go, yo, is this banana, was it picked by a racist? If he knew it was coming to a black man, then I might not eat it. Then it wouldn't matter. So the point I'm making is we spend too much time worrying about shit that don't matter. Like Bank of America, AIG, Wells Fargo. I got money in all those places. Every single one of them. I would love to put money with. I know Ariel, I think Ariel's black owned mutual fund company. There's a time I was picking mutual funds based on performance, not by color, but maybe I'll give them another look. The crazy part is Wells Fargo on that Stagecoach is a black dude. That's a brother on the Stagecoach. I heard that from executive at Amex. Matter of fact, here's some more shit. Give you something to talk about. It's $4 billion. Thanks for the correction, Michael Jordan. Because I was like, $1 trillion, that sounded like a lot, but I knew it was a hell of a lot. Right, thank you for that. Well, you know who started American Express? I'll give you a second. Put in the comments.
Who started it?
Mm-hmm. Who started American Express? Now, I know y'all trying to Google this shit now. It was Wells and Fargo started American Express. Mr. Wells and Mr. Fargo's started American Express. That's why when you look at the Wells Fargo thing, it's a Stagecoach. It's an express coach. They used to move mail. They were like, the hell with this. There's more money and moving money. That's why Wells Fargo and American Express are no longer shipping packages. They are shipping cash. So, and yeah, they were all involved in slavery. When I say what it's got to do with me, you can shake your hand, your feet, your left foot, right neck. You can shake whatever you want. The shit is true. Black people, we spend so much time worrying about race. Fuck race. It's too late. We're not going to get shit from the White House. We had a black dude in there for 8 years. We didn't get shit. We had Trump in there for 4 years. He talked about, I heard Trump talk more about helping black people than Obama did. Like, period. Like, seriously. He'd always be like, I do more for the black people than Obama did. And the shit was true. Listen to some of the comments on here in the past. Do you think Trump is a racist? Hell yes. If it was up to him, he'd have Negroes in the front yard right now.
Damn.
I know that. Seriously. But like, I tell you what, when I turn the key to my car, I don't care what color they are. I just care that the brakes work. And we need to start thinking like that. One of my shirts from Verbal Herb says, revenue equals rights. Something I got from Jesse Jackson. We need to stop using race as a fucking excuse. It's not making us no money. Every time something comes up, like think about this. What did we get? George Floyd, like lost his life. We went through all that shit. And where are black people after that shit? Where are we after Black Lives Matter? We are worse off. The only thing we got is black people on TV. We got a black woman in the White House at the podium. We got some token shits. We got some more black people on TV. We don't have more black CEOs. Do we have more black businesses? No. Y'all go for the token shit. Oh my God, Black Lives Matter. No, they don't, because if they did, we would treat each other better. They ought to say black money matters. That's more like it. Because when you got money, and what did the two chicks or whatever, 3 that started, what did they do with the cash anyway?
Shit, they went and lived high on the hog, bought them a $6 million mansion, one bought 4 houses, and gave their brother-in-law $1 million of this, that, and so, yeah.
Even Nay was like, the Negro is miseducated. We're going to take this money. Are they in jail?
Not yet, no.
Have they been prosecuted?
No.
I don't hear black people marching the streets about that injustice. We're getting beat by our own people. Because we are fucking diverted. At the end of the day, Eric B said it best, don't nothing move but the money.
Yes.
Period. So if you guys can learn a lot from a rapper. One thing I like about Nipsey, before he died, we went to Jay-Z's his Christmas party for his publishing company. And the dude is just brilliant. He's talking money and we want to help. And like Nipsey Hussle, the dude you see on the videos, click, that's not real Nipsey. He is calm, cool and collected and smart as it was, smart as could be. Like, and he just talked about money, the way he wanted to help the community and shit. Just mind blowing. But like, nobody was talking about Nipsey until, I mean, people were. But when he got murdered, all of a sudden it was like, oh, Nipsey, the greatest. I'm like, where were you guys at when this brother was alive? So that's the thing with black people. We like dead. We like to worship dead people. Don't put my name on the street sign when I'm dead. I can't say, I want to drive by and be like, yo, check out my street. Do it while I'm alive. You know what I'm saying? We got to like definitely stay focused. Period. I can call my father right now and whew, first of all, it'll be an hour conversation. Right? I talk to my father early in the morning or late at night. Right? Because I mean, but you know, here's the other thing too. I'm gonna say it. I told my kids this and I told my assistant this. I said, you guys have a pops, a father in your life that you can come to. We need to start making the black man be accountable. He ain't gonna always be perfect. And give this brother a break. We don't need to feel like, oh, I'm not making enough money to ball out. I can't pull up in the range with her. So what? I can step up to the range in the kitchen and I can make you a meal. Do you know what I'm saying? Put my apron on. Like, I can fit my apron now. I'm down 25 pounds if you haven't noticed. Anyways, that's another subject, right? Eat to live. You know what's crazy, black people? One thing we could do for ourselves is we could better our nutrition. I haven't eaten in almost 24 hours. I feel better than I have before. It is mind-blowing. Dr. Berg, he's a white dude, so watch out for the skin color.
I listen to Dr. Berg. He be on the money. Eric Berg on YouTube. He be on the money.
Dr. Berg be dropping it like it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Him, Dr. Sebi. I mean, 19 Keys, man. I learned more from this white dude. And I be sending everybody his videos. The point I'm making, we can get our health in order. See, I heard somebody, oh, matter of fact, the brother Yaki that was on 19 Keys, he said the dude was white, so I couldn't really feel it. That's a mistake. That's a disaster. Because if you got a white, Puerto Rican, Haitian, whatever, Japanese person kicking science, take the science and move with it. Right? That's the shit I don't agree about. Oh, he's Mexican, so I can't learn from him. That's, man, black people will be picking cotton soon. We keep with that attitude. And it sounds funny, but like, man, what are you going to do when the job disappears? What are you going to do? Like, man, the fact that we are not, like I told my assistant this morning, I went off. I was hot. Like my boy, you know, he had prostate cancer. He beat it. Took him 1 year to beat it. So I was like, yo, I got the same thing. He's like, yo, here's what you do, homie. All greens, like garlic, lemons, all the shit I'm already doing. He goes, I beat that shit in 1 year. And he goes, do this. Get rid of the stress in your life. So yesterday I wrote a list of everybody that's taken away from my time, stressing my black ass out. So I put their ass on the list and I put them all on notice.
Was I on the list?
No, you weren't on the list. But I'm like, if you're not helping me, fuck you. That's my new stance. Like he said, he found out he had cancer and he went and he broke up with his girl. She was fine. She was bad. She goes, oh man, it broke my heart. But she was 85% of my stress. And I broke up with her. And he said, I put my son in his own apartment. Those two were stressing my ass out. I see him. He's walking his dog. He live in Houston, walking his dog through the wilderness. And this is a dude that works with celebrities. He comes to LA. He's connected. But he's like, yo, my peace of mind was better for me. Black people, we could learn from that. Like, I'm telling you, here's the other thing too. And it's hard to go from eating meat because I love my sister tell you, a ribeye, marbled, ain't nothing better.
A meatitarian.
Oh man, I choose meat morning, noon, and night, but I have to cut it loose. Now, sometimes, I'll taste a little meat. I'll taste test it. You know, I'm working on it though. I ain't perfect. But the point I'm making is we have to eat to live. So my boy goes, take you a blender and put your lemons, kale, garlic, blueberries, all the stuff. What are you gonna eat and put it and blend it up and drink it throughout the day?
Let me speak on this as well. Hey, Damon, how you doing? And Raw Towel, I hope I said that right. How you doing? Yeah, so the Minister of Wellness, Nathaniel, what's his last name? I forget. He actually um, is on the African Diaspora News Channel here and there. I haven't seen him on there lately, but yes, he drops knowledge as far as what to eat for wellness and things like that. I will say though, the Minister of Wellness be having me crack it up. When he talks about Thanksgiving, he says, "So y'all go and yes, there you go, Nathaniel Jordan. Y'all gonna get out there and celebrate Thanksgiving."
He's right.
Killer weed and man, I'll be cracking up. But
what's his name?
Real. The Minister of Wellness,
Nathaniel Jordan.
Yes, I haven't seen his stuff on lately, so I don't know if he's still on YouTube. But yeah, he's very educational and entertaining or whatever. But his titles, I mean, I'll be busting up.
He's right, like that's another holiday we talked about is Thanksgiving.
Hello there. He'll be back. I guess he accidentally clicked himself off. So yeah, the Minister of Wellness, he is very entertaining. I've actually been watching. Yes, I don't know if he's still on YouTube. I haven't seen him around in a while. Like I said, he was on the African Diaspora News Channel. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But yeah, very intense brother, right? And he means well because he wants us to really get the information. He has a thing that I learned about G-bombs, right? Certain foods that you're supposed to eat. Was it greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds, I think it is. So it's the G-bomb method, which is really good.
Sorry, you guys. The devil's like, he's trying to heal black people. Cut him off. Man. Shit. But as black people, you want to create equality? Get your health in order. I'm telling you, man, I was a fat ass. I was 201 pounds a month or 2 months ago. I stepped on the scale. I said, no, never again. There ain't gonna never be a 2 on this scale unless I got my money in my pocket, some change, some quarters, some shit like that. So, and it was a Filipino girl that hooked me up, that put me on game on this diet, and then the Dr. CB and all that other shit. But man, I feel better at 175 than I was at 200. Like not eating the meat, the grease, the dairy, the cheese, the ham hocks, the candy yams, and all the slave foods that we eat. Cornbread. You should never put cornbread in your mouth again unless you treat cornbread like dessert. Like, don't, man. Look, you realize you can buy tortilla shells that are made of turmeric and coconut at Whole Foods. I mean, you can. They have a plant-based option for everything. I'm gonna tell you this. You can do this. Here's more game.
Hold on a second, Pioneer. I think the Minister of Wellness in his 40s, I would say that he is, but he used to be really overweight and unhealthy and stuff like that. So he talks about his journey to wellness and he tells you what to eat and stuff. And check him out. He's really informational, educational. Like I said, he is really intense. And Michael Jordan, I don't think he was saying necessarily not to celebrate Thanksgiving, but it's calling it Thanksgiving because of the foods that we eat, right, on Thanksgiving. I mean, y'all know the stuff that, especially in our community, we make.
Why would you defend Thanksgiving? It's a fucking murder. Like, and I got that. I got that from a white woman. And we were doing Thanksgiving, and tell you a little bit about my past. And she goes, "What are we doing here? They murdered the Indians. Thanksgiving, they poisoned and murdered the Indians. That's what today is. This is a fucking murder. We are celebrating a murder at this dinner table. Like, that's what this shit is. It is a murder. Like, you guys killing me. Why are we defending these fucking holidays that don't even belong to us? Like, we put more emphasis on Thanksgiving than we do Kwanzaa, which is insane. Like, those holidays are distractions. Columbus, Man, if you guys really knew what Columbus and the colonizers did to the Indians and the black people when they showed up, if you really knew what they did to them, you would never celebrate Thanksgiving again. I was in Amsterdam, and yes, the red light district is real. I was in Amsterdam, and I'm taking this tour, and the tour guide who lives in Amsterdam, he's a white dude, broke down the crimes of Amsterdam so cold to me, better than any black scholar, anyone. And he was like, the shit we did to other races was unimaginable. But we celebrate those holidays. Halloween, that's a good one. Man, I ain't buying candy. All those distractions, those are all distractions. Black people, we got too many holidays, and none of them have nothing to do with us. None of them have anything to do with the bettering of black people. You know what you should do? Start worrying about your own shit. How about some black holidays?
There is this documentary on YouTube called Post-Traumatic Slave Diet. I've watched it a few times. Walt, I sent it to you years ago. You liked it and you watched it. Post-Traumatic Slave Diet, and Michael Jordan talks about, because you said how we eat that food to honor our ancestors. Well, this is a very good documentary. And let me just ask you this, just because I like to just throw some questions out. How is eating food that is horrible for us honoring our ancestors? Wouldn't it be better to honor our ancestors with eating life and not death? Like, I don't even know what a hog mog is or where it comes from. What part? I'm assuming it's pig. I don't know where it comes from, but I wouldn't put that in my mouth. I wouldn't want to ingest that into my body.
That shit is slave food. It's slave food because what they used to do, if I'm correct, is give the slaves the leftovers. Eat the pig, cut the feet off, and throw it to the niggas.
That's why they call it high on the hog, because the white people ate higher up on the hog because the meat is better higher up, but better in regards to like the hams and all that kind of stuff, and the guts and the maws or whatever those are, the tails, the ears. That wasn't considered high on the hog, like he said. That was the leftover stuff. And so we have just continued to eat pig shit from, that time until now and throw hot sauce on it. I ain't chitlin shaming people. I won't chitlin shame nobody, but
I'm a chitlin shame. You remember the girl Tamika I used to date, sister girl. And I went to her house, and I'm my dumb ass. I was in a suit, all suited. I went to pick up this girl. I had my car clean. I had a suit and tie. I walked in this house and they clowned the shit out of me. Look at this dude in the suit. Who do you think he is? Mr. White Man. So I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. So I was like, I'm going to give her one more day. I'm here. I'm going to stay. I go in the kitchen and somebody says, hey, I want you to eat this chitlin. I said, what is it? She goes, you don't know what chitlins are? I was like, I apologize. I grew up a little more educated than that. Both my parents, I have a relationship with them and they didn't feed me this shit. What is a chitlin? Oh, it's the pig intestines. I said, well, I went to school long enough to know that the shit moves through the intestine. And they were sitting there and they got one lady cleaning out the intestine, somebody rinsing it off, and then putting it in a big ass pot. That's the shit you telling me you eat?
No pun intended.
I'm gonna stop writing shit down. Like, let me get this straight. I'm gonna take a shit. I'm gonna pass away, and you're gonna take my intestines and clean them out and eat them? Don't that sound crazy? Then why would you do that to a pig? At least I brush my teeth, I floss, I flush, I'm doing a cleanse. Right now, my intestines are clean. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen a pig at a farm? They just lay there in the dirt. They just lick each other's booty hole. They just sit there, ooh, shit. Man.
No pun intended.
Golly. You guys, almost every disease that's out there is related to food. Death, how does it go? So they stole from an African, Socrates or whatever his name was.
Hippocrates.
Death starts in the colon, whatever. They stole. By the way, you guys, for you brothers wearing Greek and all that shit, you realize the Greeks, they stole that shit straight from Africa. Do you realize that Socrates, some of those guys were exiled and murdered for teaching that shit? Then when Alexander the Great took over Africa, come on, you guys, you can do this research yourself. That's our shit. They didn't eat like that. Man, We black people, we're so damn fat and overweight. It breaks my heart. Like we need to if we can just get that out of control. And if you're overweight, I get it. Because I was overweight. So I'm speaking from experience. Do you tell you? Last time you saw me, my stomach was sticking out here. This shirt was tight as hell. I look like what's Eddie Murphy's character in the Nutty Professor?
Professor Clump.
I look like Professor Clump. And all I did, and it was 2 months. I've been on this diet less than 2 months, maybe 2 months. I just changed my diet. That was it. Now I'm clear, so I can have conversations with my son and my kids and all this shit. Get rid of the food. And you know what? If you clean out your system, get rid of all that food, you spend less time eating. My boy Jay goes, dude, put that shit in the blender, blend it up, and drink it throughout the day. He goes, you don't have to spend all that time cooking. The last time I ate was yesterday. Put all my shit, no, okay, not my shit, because we're not eating. Put all my stuff in the blender yesterday morning. And I drunk some of that. And then I decided after taking my daughter out to eat for her birthday, I'm going to go on a fast. That's it. You can do that. Like, seriously. I'm going to show you.
And while he's showing y'all, to this comment, y'all ain't no slave, you ain't on a slave plantation either. You'll be surprised what you eat when you get hungry enough. So we are not shaming the ancestors. Of course, they did what they had to do, but we ain't on that no more where we got to eat pig and guts. Like, where does it say you have to eat pig guts? Where?
Okay, and who's hungry? Who's watching this shit that's hungry? If you watching this shit, if you watching this shit and you starving, you have to go out and go hit the corner and wash some windows or pick some flowers and sell them. Man, you could take your black ass right now, go pick some flowers from your neighbor and knock on some doors and say, hey, I'm selling fresh flowers. Would you like some? And you can make money and you can eat. And you don't have to eat chitlins no more. Like, man,
but chitlins ain't even cheap from what I understand. It don't sound like chitlins are cheap.
Like, yo, this right here is, I eat garlic twice a day for my, for the cancer shit. This has garlic in it. I got a little food processor. And I got this Vitamix, right? My girlfriend bought them both. That's what I was talking about that shit earlier, like bringing something to the table. Literally brought something to the table. In here is kale, which I hate, but I prefer to eat that than die soon, right? There's garlic in here, blueberries. There's lemon in here, tomatoes, red pepper, cumin, turmeric. Cayenne pepper, cinnamon, all that shit that fights cancer. This is the only thing I've eaten in the last 2 days, minus I had like a couple pieces of sushi with my daughter, which I don't even.
All in the same cup?
It's all in the same thing. And I put cinnamon in it to give it flavor.
That gave it flavor.
I like it though, because for me, I'm eating it to live. Like we always talk about Elijah Muhammad, eat to live. But don't you think that eating to live should be done on purpose, right? And I had sushi yesterday, me and my daughter, which, even when I ordered it, I was like, I'm not eating like this, but whatever, I have a couple pieces. That's why you have to protect your environment too. Also with my kids, I was like, maybe I should keep her in my environment. But the point I'm making is, this is all I've done since yesterday. I put this all in the blender and I made it. I haven't, my sister tell you, I spend a lot of time in the kitchen cooking. I don't have to cook no more. I'm still going to cook because I make vegan foods and stuff. And you might catch me eating a piece of fish or sushi or lamb chop here. And I'm not saying I'd be lying if I said I wasn't going to do that. And Damon, you're right. But you know what the best meal prep is? Put all your stuff in the blender, blend it up, and put it in the fridge. It sounds nasty, but man, like, we should eat to live. That's it. Eat to live. Black people, if we ate, first of all, most of us don't really believe. We talk about defending the minister and Elijah Muhammad. We don't even believe that shit ourselves. Because the minister don't eat chitlins. The minister don't eat like that. The minister, Elijah Muhammad, who I've never met him, but I've seen the minister on stage and shit like that. We don't even believe them. Because if we did, we would eat like them. Mr. Farrakhan must be, 80-something years old?
87, I think, 88, something like that.
Like, man, I know he's getting older, but damn. The dude looks incredible for his age. Like, why don't we start with that? Clear your mind out, and then you make better decisions. When you're, and I'm not saying I'm not going to, kale is horrible. Whew, I do not like kale, but man, kale has more fiber than a Nike in it. It's off the hook. You know what I'm saying? And when I Googled cancer fighting, illness fighting, or foods to eat to live, kale was on the top of the list. And I've heard from a lot of people.
Well, eat to live. Actually, kale, I think, is advised not to eat kale, if I'm not mistaken, on eat to live.
I don't know if it's in there. I'll
But
stop.
different people say different things about it. I mean, it is very coarse, if you will. I like to massage my kale with lemon juice or lime, if you drink alkaline, lemon or lime, and sprinkle a little bit of salt and olive oil or grapeseed oil, whatever, and you massage it really, really, really good to soften it up and get the flavors and stuff in there. And that's the way I like to eat it. I can't eat it when it's all.
Oh, the other thing that's in here too is olive oil. You don't cook with olive oil. That is a disaster.
Grapeseed oil.
If you cook with olive oil, you are creating a toxic environment in your body. You cook with grapeseed or avocado oil. Those are the oils you use. You go to Italy, they put that shit everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, we as people of color, Black people, we can, if we just get our diet right, if everybody on here just lost, I love sitting on the toilet, man. I look forward to that shit every morning. When I wake up, I go,
naturally.
Flush. The toxins are leaving, baby. I can't wait to sit on the toilet tomorrow because I know I'm losing weight and I'm healing. You guys realize, think about this for a second. There's no need. Okay, you guys, when I say people of color, I'm more like, let's do better as a planet. I get it. We are Black people, but and we need to cut this shit out. Like we're going to exclude ourselves from the rest of the races. We are not. Some of you guys can't even move without a Mexican, or you got a Mexican cutting your yard. Like when I say people of color, I'm talking about people of color, period, because we are all discriminated against, period. So we can miss me with that shit. So if we focus on our health the way we focused on racism, man, what if everybody on here lost 15 pounds unless you're skinny? That's it. What if everybody on here lost 15 pounds? That's it. How clear would you be? How, you realize we don't need, and here's a money tip, write it down. Sometimes, you guys, food is an unnecessary expense. I can tell you. Do you realize you could do a fast for 3, 4, 5 days, taking water and nutrients, and live? Think about this for a second. Think about when you eat a hamburger, right? Or a kale salad or whatever, when you eat, let's say you eat 4 avocados for dinner, which is 1,000 calories, by the way. But whatever. Let's say you eat 4 avocados. What happens to you in the morning? You go to the bathroom. It is getting rid of substance. So wouldn't it just make sense to get the nutrients? That's the stuff you learn when you start taking care of your health. Dr. Sebi says, and the ancients used to just, when they went to the bathroom, they would do it in their hand and keep it moving because they didn't eat all that crap. They just needed the nutrients. Some of you guys get stuck with all this food. And I'm not saying don't eat food, but your body needs nutrients. That's why you take whatever you want to call it. You use the bathroom to get rid of the substance. Your body don't need that. All it needs is the nutrients. So wouldn't it make more sense just to get some nutrients and keep it moving? I've saved so much money since I stopped eating. When I say stop eating red meat, I mean it's still in my fridge, but it haunts me every time I open my freezer. But I'm giving it to friends and family as they come over because they don't care as much about their health as I do, right? So they don't care, I don't care. But I save so much money on food by going plant-based. It's crazy. Man, you guys, so that stuff you don't need money for. That's matter of fact, that will save you some money. Oh man, we're going to get to the barbecue grill. When I used to buy meat all the time, I could go to the whole vegetable section, get one of everything, but then go to the meat section, and my bill would triple. You can buy a rack of lamb, it's $20 for something this will feed 2 people. With $20, I can buy 4 pounds of blueberries. Or I could buy damn. Like when I started thinking like that, right? Coconut oil is good for you too. I mean, I think I got it right here. It's for other reasons. No, I cook with it. But I mean, always keep coconut oil next to you, right? Matter of fact, while we on it, thanks for that. The coconut has water and nutrition. You can lose weight by just eating coconuts. Yeah, we should do a challenge. Here's what I want everybody to do on here. Jump on a scale, take a picture, and post it next week. And then give yourself 2 months. First of all, when you stop, okay, they can be, but there's less sick skinny people than fat people. So I'm going to get my black ass to skinny and try it from there. You understand what I'm saying?
I think the point she's making is, yeah, they think because I'm skinny, I don't have to eat right, because some people's metabolism is just fast, so they won't get fat. But that don't mean you can just pour junk in your body, because eventually, yeah, it'll catch up to you.
Now, you haven't heard me say that skinny people can eat any way they want. I'm talking about people in general. Skinny people, the crazy thing about skinny people is it just take them out. Look at Kevin Samuels. He was skinny as could be. So, yes, skinny people have their issues, but who has more issues? Overweight people or skinny people? That's where I'm going with this. And it costs more money to be overweight. It costs you more in health insurance, medicines. Lord knows it costs you more in food. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the embarrassment of having to buy 2 plane tickets or you can't get on the ride at Disneyland. Like, don't you get tired of that shit? And you save money. And so
let me address this really quick. So I see Michael Jordan, I've spoken to you once before earlier, but you seem to be a very emotional guy. I don't know why you're very emotional. It's funny how you and a couple of other people, and John, I put your comment up for a reason. You and a couple other people, you guys are just like, how?
I'm gonna mute my mic so I don't say it.
I'm gonna try to be as cool as I can be, because I do love you all dearly. But I just really wonder how much of a pro-Black person you can be if you take every opportunity to be a distraction. Said people of color, clearly you can see he's Black, whatever, right? And then so to this comment, you say, Michael, so you're agreeing, the most dangerous thing about a guy like this is that he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. How? How is he a wolf in sheep's clothing if he's sending his Black ass up here every Wednesday for free, giving, and I'm assuming you're Black, your Black ass information that you can use? How is that a wolf in sheep's clothing? See, we got to get past the point of, I'm just waiting to find something wrong he could say so I could be the smartest Negro in the comment section. What is being the smartest Negro in the comment section getting you? Sometimes we as Black people got to shut our mouth, open both of our ears, and take in some information.
Okay, calm down. See, you got my sister all riled up.
I'm calm.
Light a candle, take a breath.
I'm calm. I'm just saying, sometimes we do too much sometimes. It's like, good Lord. Oh, he didn't say it that way. He must be an agent. For those of you guys who don't know, Walter is my brother. He is my oldest brother. I know, whatever. He's my oldest brother. He is my oldest brother. We come from the same mom, the same dad. We have the same upbringing, okay? Now, I hate to say this because I don't like to really go this route with people. If you don't like what's being said, come back with something that you like is being said. But to sit in the comment section and to be negative and saying all these things, all this, like, what's the point? Like, I have to take 2-3 minutes now to address that. Like, so again, if you pro-Black, then Be about the business of pro-blackness. Don't be about the business of, well, I'ma just try to say this dude is an agent, or he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. What, like?
Hey,
What's the
I'm trying to
point?
be the wolf because sheep get eaten. Fuck it. Like, yeah, I'm the wolf. Fuck it. I'm trying to be the wolf. Hell, I'd rather be a wolf than a sheep. Y'all kiss me with, y'all don't even know the meaning of that shit. Y'all don't even understand the shit you talking about. Man, black people, here we go. We are getting our asses whooped by the whites, by the Mexicans, by the Asians, Filipinos. I know they're Asian too. We are getting our ass whooped by the Indians. We are on the bottom of the totem pole. My business partner in my car business is Indian. He's Indian. I mean, like, he's Indian. He's like Indian like that. Never has he come to me about race. He don't ask about me. We never talk about that shit. All we talk about is the money. How much money did we make? How much, like, yo, where's the money? We never talk about race. Black people, we are on the bottom. And it's exhausting to be part of this race sometimes, watching us with the most talent in the world, the black people that have built the pyramids and created time and the clock and everything under the motherfucking sun we have created. And we sitting there arguing over dumb shit. I told you, let's just focus on the money. I just gave you a strategy. I ain't seen nothing in the comments about Alibaba. I mean, maybe a little bit, but like, yo, I just told you, buy for 2, sell for 20. Start your Shopify, free trial, 7 days, $29 a month. Have somebody do, matter of fact, if you want, you can DM me. I'll have my assistant. She'll make you a website for $400. She charged $250, but that's too cheap. So I'm gonna get, you know what I'm saying? We gotta split this money. So she'll start you a Shopify, and then you can sell your shits. I don't, you know what? When me and my family go to somewhere and we get out the car and we get out, we look presentable, and we're like, they don't ask me about my color. They don't. When I go put my credit card and we check into the hotel, they don't ask me about, well, hey, we got the nigger corner, the section over there. When I walk in my room, there's whites, Mexicans, blacks, Haitians, all kinds of shit. We get too stuck on race. Period. The hell with, get the money. Like I talked about Jay-Z earlier, I said he's one of the greatest. We have more energy on Jay-Z being great or greatest, or if he's not, than we do about all the other money shit I said. Black people, you are being extinct through food. If I want to walk into a building and I want to feel people by their race, I can feel them out. Because black people, we're some of the heaviest people in the world. And we are in the best shape. It don't make no sense. We talk about black excellence. But every time we get excellent, we shoot the nigga down. He's too excellent. Oh, he's doing too good. I love Jay-Z's hustle. He may not be the greatest husband. Who cares? I don't care about that shit. Can I learn from Jay-Z? Can I learn from Kanye? That's it. Some of y'all get stuck. Like, yo, you knew some shit about me. It would blow your mind, some of the mistakes I've made. I mean, whew, this shit my sister don't even know. But sometimes you have to, Kanye said it best, some of the craziest ideas, y'all like this crazy music? Sometimes it has to come from a crazy person. I've been, all y'all people on here, people with the soft feelings and your toes, I've been where you've been. I've been broke. I've been hating. But like when I started saying, oh, that dude got his shit together, I want to be like that dude. Like I made the comment about looking at it from the woman's view. That's how I improve. I realize I make the best improvements when I look through the eyes of a woman. Because my girlfriend will say, you wearing that? I'm like, oh, okay. I go change. Not all the time, but sometimes. Right? She used to walk up to me and push my stomach. I hate that shit. But instead of choking it out, you know what I'm saying? I was like, is she right? Like, could I do something about this? Could my stomach be flat? You know what I'm saying? Now she walk up, oh, like, look at this. I say, yeah, look at this. I'm wearing a tank top to the company picnic. But let's get our health together. And then we can actually do both at the same time. Like I just told you guys earlier, if you have credit, I'm gonna switch back to money. Borrow from your credit cards. What's the use of having credit if you don't use it? You got $10,000 on your credit card, or $5,000, or if you have $2,000, take that loan. Tell your boss, you know what? I need a week off, 2 weeks, and I'm gonna work on my business, and I'm gonna use the money from the credit card, and I'm gonna pay my bills, and I'm gonna survive, and I'm gonna start my own stuff. That's it. That's it. All you gotta do. Start with that. You guys just start with that. And then we come back next week. I want to see in the comment section who's opened up. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I'll put your name of the business in the comment. That's it. Because at the end of the day, I don't care. I got my kids, my family. You should care about your family, but they need money. They all do. They all need money. And the best way to build wealth is credit. You could be on here with $10 to your name, but with a 720 FICO score, Capital One is easy. Is there easier? On the easier side, Synchrony Bank, I talked about this all the time. Synchrony Bank, money. Huh?
Synchronicity?
Synchronicity, Venmo, Best Buy, Care Credit, all that stuff. Some of y'all ain't been to the dentist in a while. Like, boom, here's my Care Credit. You know what I'm saying? So,
can I use your credit card to get some braces? I just need some on my bottom row.
No, because I gotta use it. I gotta use it for mine.
Well, let's go together.
Right, I hear you. I can get you a Care Credit card. Right, and the crazy part is my son has a Care Credit, and I had him put me on his Care Credit so I can carry his FICO, adapt some of his history, and then I got my own from Care Credit. So you could be broke as a joke, but use your credit, and you could pull money off and start your business. You could do that right now. You could buy. Remember last week, 2 weeks ago, I said, I'm going to borrow from my life insurance company, and I'm going to use that money, and I'm going to use it to invest in something. Because from your life insurance, if you don't have life insurance, stop playing. You can borrow money from your life insurance. My AIG, the slave people, yes. They're charging me 3% to borrow money from my life insurance policy. They're charging me 3%. But the money that they're sending me, I'm gonna use it to make 100%. So I'm gonna give AIG 3 on my own money. But here's the crazy part. In the life insurance policy, because I took a loan from the policy and not do what most people do is withdraw, the money in my policy is still growing. I'm just taking it, so it could grow at 10%. I took out a loan at 3, so I'm still getting 7, and then you could take that money and go out and you can make 100 on it. That's it. You could do that with your credit cards even. If you have credit cards and you're not using them, boom shakalaka to you. Like, that's insanity. Take that shit and put it to work. Take 2 weeks off and say, I'm out of here and I'm gonna build my life. I give you permission.
Answer this last question here from my girl Sunlight.
Sunlight. Oh, I can't get involved in that. I find out, you tell me. First of all, we shouldn't use the word hide from the IRS because you know Joe Biden just hired a bunch of agents. They looking for shit like this. Oh, keyword hide and IRS together. Yeah, okay. If you owe money, pay it. That's it. Because you guys, and I know we have a lot of politicians that talk about the rich and not paying taxes. I guarantee you Elon Musk pays more tax than anybody on this podcast. And I hear people talking about taxes that maybe hasn't paid them. Our taxes are to pay firemen and all the shit we use. Now, there's a way to reduce your taxes. That's a better word, right? Here's how I reduce my taxes. When I go out to eat or when I go on vacation, I deduct those receipts because I have my own business. My meals, entertainment, travel is deductible. These candles are all tax deductible. You know why? Because I started a business and I'm experimenting with the flavors. So I used to buy, oh shit, here's a candle right here. It got my own wax in it. I took their candle and just filled it up. I don't care. It's sandalwood Myra. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. But I bought this candle. No, it was given to me. I don't know. This candle's like $20. I filled it up for $2 and put a wick in it and I'm lighting it. Do you see what I'm saying? This is a tax deduction. So whereas I buy this candle and I pay for it, now I make my own candle and I get a tax deduction. You see what I'm saying? So not only is it cheaper, I also get a tax deduction. These candle things that I bought, these are tax, even though I need them, they're a tax deduction. So deduct the money you spend on this food right here. It's a tax deduction because I am experimenting with food so I can tell you how to eat to live.
And I'm gonna give y'all a story about my taxes. My nephew does my taxes. Oh, I love him to death. Does my taxes. One of Walter's sons, like genius. All of Walter's kids are geniuses, right? All of them. So my nephew does my taxes. I give him all my stuff every year. This year I gave him to him. He's like, "You want the good news or the bad news?" I was like, "It doesn't matter at this point." Says, "Well, I guess the bad news is that you owe $7,000." And I'm like, "Okay, what's the good news?" He was like, "Well, we could try to write it down. Let's say that he got me $100 back after he did my taxes." So that was the good news. Wasn't really looking to get any money back. Would have been great, but I sure wasn't looking forward to paying $7,000 in taxes. So
yeah. And my son Miles, I mean, that's me like drilling finance into him. And it wasn't easy. But this is why I say, like, it's okay to make your kids do shit. And I know how my kids feel because my father does it to me. But like, make them do shit. At the end of the day, they will thank you. I'm so glad that my father took my ass. When I got out of school, I used to walk to his shop. I don't know how many miles it was as a kindergartner, first grade, whatever. Walk to his shop and we work all night. Thank God. I hated him for that at first. I was like, damn, I gotta walk and I gotta work. And I got Welch's grape juice and a tamale out of it. But thank God he made me go to work with him. I don't know what my life would be like if my father didn't take my black ass to work with him every day at 5 a.m. and we worked till midnight. I don't know what I would be. It scares me to think that what if he would have listened to all the naysayers? Oh, stop taking that boy to work, Brother Walter. Like, let him play with the other kids. My father was like, no, he's just bringing his ass to work. He needs to be somebody one day. Not to mention, I was helping my fucking father. Like, there's worse things you could do except help your parents take care of your black ass. Me carrying a wrench, giving him a 5/8 or a 1/2 inch means he didn't have to pay somebody else to do that, which means I got more of the money. That's it. So that's the stuff we can learn from this week. And if you guys with the soft feelings, I mean, there's some buffoonery shows up there. You can go watch the Housewives of Atlanta or whatever some of those whack ass shows y'all be watching. You can watch that shit because I don't see all these comments and they anyways.
Well,
you get the point.
Our participants, they don't watch that kind of stuff anyway, right?
I hope
anyway, we good over here. So anyway, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. We always go over. We love and appreciate y'all dearly. We don't always agree, and sometimes we don't get along, and sometimes we have a little fisticuffs. But you know what? It's all love at the end of the day, because that's what families do. Families sometimes feud. You can ask Walter, me and him have had some doozies, but I love them. I'll take somebody out over them, and I would do the same thing for y'all. We may not be related by blood, but we are family nevertheless. So anyway, y'all come on back.
And before you do that, make sure you go to verbalherb.com and get you a shirt. Right, Represent the Line is fully functional, and you can see what I'm talking about. I got like 10, 12 shirts. You will love them. It's verbalherb.com. I said I was going to plug myself, which means I owe my sister some money. I said I would send her some money for that plug. Right, go there and get you some stuff. Right, we will take your dollars. Right, and we will use those dollars to do the right thing with.
Okay. So I'm gonna put Walter's email up there for those of y'all asking about my nephew. My nephew's kind of on the shy side, you know, and all that, but he's a genius. He just needs to.
And he don't deal with nigga shit. Let me tell you, he will cut you off in 2.2 seconds. He's like, Dad, we don't have time for that shit. Let them go. They don't care about it. Neither do we. And he don't answer a question twice. Just telling you.
But he is really, really good at what he does. He understands money and how things work. And if he don't understand, he'll be like, let me get back to you. And then he'll dissect it and put it all back together and say, okay, this is what we're working with. So anyway, that's Walter's information. If y'all want Miles' information, he was on here a little while ago. I don't know if he's still on here.
Anyway, yeah, no, don't give him Miles his shit. He won't appreciate that. He ain't gonna respond to you.
Yeah, he's a shy guy. We working on him. We working on him, walking into his greatness. So anyway, y'all.
Yeah, don't email him. He ain't gonna respond. I tell you, he got enough money saved. He's like, Dad, I don't need to do shit.
And normally I could do my own taxes, but now I was like, I ain't gonna mess with it because I might be doing this show from Cell Block H. So anyway, y'all, we love and appreciate y'all. See y'all live on Sunday with Donovan Sadiq, the recovering Democrat. You guys be good, stay cool out there, and everything else in between. See y'all later.
Ooh, it's hot.